1300 block of South Majestic View Place. We had a few witnesses to this, which kind of helped give us some context of what happened, but we're still trying to figure out exactly what took place. But we had 3 guys that were outside, and it looks like there was some type of argument between the 3 of them. At some point, one of the people pulled out a gun and shot our victim. He was struck in the leg. He ended up going to the hospital. It was non-life-threatening injuries. No arrests have been made, I guess, and we'll just leave it at that. So we got some varying information about what took place, but the witnesses were able to help us kind of figure out generally what took place. The next one, this was early Sunday morning. This was about 12:50 a.m. and this was in the, it was near 11th Street and 2nd Avenue. Let me see if I have. Yeah, it was in a parking lot. So this one, there was a large group of people. Depending on who you talk to, they're either fighting or arguing. Somebody fired a gun. Our victim is an 18-year-old man. He was struck in the pelvic area. He was taken to the hospital, was found to be non-life-threatening. He didn't really know exactly what took place. He was outside and saw this large group of people, and then just felt it when he got struck by the bullet. So he was not directly involved with this and didn't really have any information about what was leading up to that. But a lot of people that were there, people kind of scattered after the gunshots happened, so we're still trying to find everybody and piece things together, but no arrests have been made in this case either. And the last shooting that we had, this was Sunday evening. This was about 8:40 p.m. This was near 12th Street and Summit Avenue. Our victim in this case was grazed in his back with a bullet, so no serious injuries with that. That one we don't have a whole lot of information. He showed up at a house and said he had been shot, and then we're still working to figure out exactly what took place with that. So there was another gunshot call in that same area, 12th Street and Summit. This was in the afternoon, Sunday afternoon, just before 2 p.m. That one, there was a large group of people that were outside, and then several gunshots were heard. We didn't have any reports of any injuries with that, no reports of any damage either. So not everybody stuck around to figure out what was going on, but all of these seem to be unrelated. And that's probably all I have about that. But
the 2 on Sunday you think are unrelated?
They don't seem to be related, yeah. Things could change as we get more information, but I think the only common thread was it was kind of in the same area. Anything with those? The others are domestics, nothing serious with those. The arson, that was basically just a report. We had a house fire, and the fire investigators wanted to generate a report just in case as they investigate that. So that's pretty common for the fire investigators, just to generate a report in case they find something that they determine arson. The burglaries, we had business that was entered 2 different times, or one was entered and then there was a window that was broken, it was boarded up, and then somebody was trying to break into it a second time. The second time that one of the people were arrested, they weren't able to get inside. The disorderlies, really nothing of note from any of those, kind of a large random sampling. Nothing big from the family offenses. Frauds or reports. Larcenies, most of those are shopliftings. The rape is a report. The robbery, that was a report at this point in time. The victim said the suspect is her ex. He ended up taking her purse. No arrests yet. Sex offenses are reports. Nothing suspicious with any of the unattended deaths. There's an unknown problem, that was a domestic. Vandalisms, we didn't have anything concentrated, and the weapons violation, that was a intoxicated man in possession of a firearm, so not used or displayed at all.
With the shootings, is there any public safety threat for any of them?
I guess it's probably hard to say at this point in time. We just have limited, excuse me. We just have limited information about what took place. We don't know details yet. It seems to be that there was at least something that happened, a common buildup or argument that led to these shootings, but we just don't know at this point in time. I would say it's probably concerning that we have people that are willing to pull out guns and fire them in or around crowds of people. Obviously, it's not a safe situation, and you really can't predict when something like that can or will take place.
Are shootings becoming more common in the area, do you think, or was this kind of an outlier weekend?
Just having 4 of them over a weekend, I'd say that's an outlier. Generally, I'd say that shootings seem to be a little bit more common than they used to. If you think back, 10, 15, 20 years ago, it doesn't seem like we had as many shootings back then as we do now. Can't give you an answer of why that happens, why it's taking place, but it does. But I think having 4 in one weekend is a little unusual.
You mentioned for 2 of the shootings that they were large groups of individuals. Can you talk a little bit about, any information on what those gatherings were, why they were all together, or if it was just kind of happenstance?
The one Sunday afternoon, we don't have any information of why. The other one, early Saturday morning, that was early Sunday morning. I think it may have coincided with something that was happening at the bar if people were there and then left, but again, that's probably a little too early to make that assumption that that's exactly what took place. Anything else?
With all the roads buckling with the heat, what should drivers know? What should they do if they're encountering that?
The best thing they can do is just slow down. At least in Sioux Falls, we had quite a few roads that have buckled, different areas over the last few days. The street crews, I know, are working to repair those, so hopefully they'll get those fixed shortly. But if people are driving and see a road that has buckled, just slow down. That's the best thing you can do. You don't want to be driving at a high rate of speed and hit one of those buckled areas. You could do some damage to your vehicle. We want to make sure that people are safe, so that's the best thing that people can do is just slow down, and then once they have an opportunity to report that, to make sure that the road crews are aware of that.
Do you have any updates on any of the homicides or Tyler Weathersby?
Nothing new with Tyler Weathersby. I just talked to the detective last week about that. Still working, still making progress, but no updates at this point. The homicides, I haven't checked recently. I haven't heard of any news, so most of those I think are sitting at the state's attorney's office, and we're waiting for them to finish reviewing the case. So we've done our part. We just have to wait for them to finish reviewing the case. Anything else? Okay, thanks.